Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity. I know that you and the chairman reached out to me, and I appreciate that, and being able to lay this bill out, as well as all of you members. Two notes before I get into it. I wanted to point out, as my chief, as rightfully, and you know you have a good chief of staff when they remind you that this bill is based out of Chairman Guillen's bill from last session, 3782. It died in the Senate. It was able to pass through the House. At that time, it set up an advisory council. We're doing a little bit something different here, and we're actually making it that much better than what Guillen had. So that's one thing. And second, I think things have died down with respect to border and immigration, especially down in my area of House District 74. But I think that it should still be of concern to all of us, especially when we know for a fact that Congress and D.C. have failed to take action in 30 or 40 years. And there is that level of concern as to whether they're going to do what's really necessary in being able to address immigration and border security. And I think that that's why it's important. And at the end of the day, I want to have you all keep in mind that we should be leading on this as a state, and especially as a border state. So as you know, I live in Eagle Pass, and I represent over 770 miles of a Texas-Mexico border. I represent 9 out of the 14 counties that share a border with Mexico. My region has experienced some of the most unprecedented humanitarian crisis we have ever seen. I appreciate also Dave Phelan and Speaker Phelan's opportunity to go down there and visit Maverick County and really see what was going down there in that area and take a number of our colleagues. Thank you, Speaker. You know, I first came to the legislature in 2021 when this crisis was unfolding. I saw it firsthand, and our communities lived it every day. I have always been an advocate for border security, including supporting Operation Lone Star. But I believe in smart border security policy, and that's what this bill aims to facilitate. HB 2308 would establish the Commission on Border Security and Illegal Immigration. This would be an advisory commission to study and examine our current state laws regarding our border security efforts in order to maximize efficiency and develop a comprehensive, coordinated approach to address these challenges in case we go through this again. This commission would also study and review the economic, the legal, cultural, and educational impacts of undocumented residents in our state, and how we can best utilize the migrant workforce in key industries, including agriculture, restaurants, hospitality, and construction. Members, all of our districts have these needs, and I hear it as a need from some of my most conservative communities the most, and that is why this was also a major reason why I filed this bill. But importantly, this commission would work to develop a comprehensive list of critical infrastructure projects in our border communities that would help both in building up our communities and supporting border security efforts, and having a comprehensive plan on border immigration and like a Texas workforce jobs plan. For example, in my district, the El Indio Highway connects along the riverbank, the River Vega, to the Old Mines Road, which is in Laredo, south of us along the Rio Grande. There's 40 miles there that remained unpaved. Everybody, you're talking about key law enforcement, Border Patrol, troopers, local law enforcement, have all told us and have all mentioned that paving those last 40 miles to be able to connect those two communities would work wonders from a law enforcement along the riverbanks where they're facing most of the cartels and these human smugglers. And yet, this state, for over 30 or 40 years, has done absolutely nothing to address this request from both communities, which have both passed resolutions in support of this endeavor. You can be that part of that difference by supporting this piece of legislation. Paving this road would work to foster a better connection to our two cities and support our law enforcement's efforts to secure the border. It's items like this that will work to sever our long-term needs in our communities and our state's border security efforts. We were having 8,000 crossings a month. I did the math back then when I was doing some of these panels, on border and immigration. Even if we were to charge, and we heard last legislative session, migrants were having to pay $2,000, $5,000, and up to $15,000 to be able to pay the human smugglers or the cartels to cross them. We have, by our own very actions, we've created a $1 billion industry for the bad guys. If we take that away from them and we're able to implement a policy where we, the state, were to charge a $2,000 processing fee, for example, in exchange, we give them, we do a background check, we make sure that one of the conditions that they're going to be gainfully employed, that they're going to be paying into the system, not taking from the system, and then we have a way of checks and balances also to make sure, for example, that they don't get anything above a Class C misdemeanor as part of the conditions of their residency here in Texas. We would be able to generate, I think at 8,000, it was like $16 million, you know, a month, and it would generate over $5 billion a year. In 2.5, 3 years, we would be able to truly recover the over $12 billion that the state has spent on border and immigration. Wouldn't that be nice to be able to have the migrants truly pay for this service as well as they're getting a benefit of it because they're gainfully employed in the state? So with that, you know, I would like to say that the commission would be able to provide these items and give the legislature the tools that we need to have a structured, deliberate approach to effective policies. More than anything, this board, if you see the board makeup, would be the governor, the lieutenant governor, we'd have the speaker, we'd also have the comptroller, and then we have 3 Senate members and 3 House members, making up a total of 11. I truly want to make this bipartisan. It's not anything different than what you see here, an 11-member board. I think we can be effective. And at the same time, we would able to show Texas that we're now working in all our constituents, that we're working towards this in a bipartisan effort, getting our blinders off, really focusing on the facts at hand from this commission and making sure that we deliver to our Texas taxpayers. And with that, I'm open for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions, members? Right, and we don't show any witnesses registered to testify, so you are recognized to close.
And with that, hopefully I can count respectfully on y'all's support. I think this is a good, effective measure for us to move forward. I respectfully close, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, thank you. If there's no objection, House Bill 2308 will be left pending. Is there objection? The chair hears none, and House Bill 2308 is left
This is
pending.
the only bill I had before you. May I be excused?
You are excused.
Thank you. Thank you all.